Hi, Mira. Good to see you too. So, Mira, I'm so excited you're going to be coming to Geneva next week already to run the Sexy, Wild, and Wise workshop, a one-day retreat on womb wisdom for women. And so we thought to let everyone know a little bit more about it and to introduce you to them. We would capture our conversation about it today.
Yeah.
And you and I met in Bali this winter, and we spent 2 full weeks intensive practicing, working with our Shakti, working with the energy of the earth during the Earth Priestess training together.
Yeah.
And in fact, all of your work, I think we can say, is about this feminine essence. Yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah. So let me introduce you just a little bit to people. So you're from Sweden originally, but you now live a little bit like a nomad, is that right? Between Bali and Sweden and traveling with your work.
Yeah.
And you've been doing that for how many years? 20 years? 20 plus years?
Well, I've been on a spiritual journey, on a feminine journey for 20 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've been traveling in India but Bali's been only like 5 or 4 years now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been living this nomad life, and yeah, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. I love it in Bali.
Yeah. Makes me dream.
Yeah.
So teaching yoga and teaching what you now call Shakti temple yoga, which has been a journey basically. That's the kind of amalgamation of all of this learning across dance, across yoga, across Pilates and other body work.
Yeah.
You're kind of bringing all of this together in your workshops now.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of tantric. I've been living in tantric communities and studying different tantric approaches. So it's all about that. Yeah, awakening Shakti, like the life force energy, and finding more happiness, juiciness, vitality, and also a deeper spiritual connection with oneself and a rootedness in one's being and body. So yeah, it's all been an exploration of that for many, many, many years.
So what is it that like brought you to that? What's your story in a sense that kind of kick-started this?
Yeah, well, it actually started when I was around 17 years old. I had like a life crisis where all my girlfriends left me over a day, and I couldn't bear without friends. And it kind of plunged me into seeking for more existential ways and finding why am I really here. So it brought me kind of early into like a spiritual path, and then I explored many different ways and more like the masculine ways of like vipassana and advaita, where I thought about doing working with the mind, and I saw myself getting trapped into the mind or getting even more stuck in my way of being, and that's when I wanted to start exploring more a feminine spiritual path, which involves the body, which involves sexuality, which involves how can I live here and be here and enjoy who I am in my life and find that spiritual connection without having to ascend, like really, coming down here, being both human and divine at the same time. So so that's been my exploration for many, many years, and finally when I found that more feminine path, I found more peace with myself, who I am in the world, and more, because before that I wanted to kind of pull away from the world. I wasn't really happy being here. I was searching for something else, but when I finally found more this feminine spiritual path, I'm so much here, loving being here on earth. Of course I have my ups and downs, but the connection with the earth is just like so beautiful. It's like a core element in my practices, I guess, as what I'm teaching and what I'm exploring myself, really being in full connection with the earth, and finding that we're already, one, you know, not on like a spiritual abstract way, but really in the body, that I'm one with the earth. I'm of the earth, you know, created from the earth. So that's part of exploration for me as a woman. And yeah.
Beautiful. It totally resonates with me. I'm finding the more I walk this path, the more I'm realizing that I haven't, even though I've been using my body, I've been doing yoga for years, I haven't fully embodied. I haven't been like, it's like haven't been fully in my cells, in all of my being. And that's a choice. That's like a choice I need to make. And what I realized, and this is why I think we've come together and the feminine practices have meant so much for me as well, is that I was cut off a lot from my feminine essence. Even though I went to an all-girls school, I grew up in a Catholic system that was very much about shame and guilt of being a woman, a sexual woman, a beautiful woman, and the power that would have, that it was almost dangerous and wrong. And so even though no one was sort of telling me that, it was part of my awareness in society. And so I grew up kind of cutting myself off from this feminine essence. And so, like you say, I similarly was doing meditation and yoga and these spiritual practices, but actually more in a masculine way. Not fully just in the flow of my body, not understanding what that was. Yeah.
Yeah. I so relate to that.
Huh. So what...
A lot of women relate to that as well. I saw that when I went into teaching yoga, and I was finding that a lot of women are drawn into exploring yoga, but somehow yoga has been created by men for men. So sometimes it even creates more of a rigidity in our bodies. We don't really actually get to the places that we are looking for in yoga to become more embodied and find, you know, deeper connection with ourselves. So that's when I started exploring more of this Shakti yoga, which is it's about finding that life essence and juiciness of really exploring and being in our bodies in a not rigid way, but in an organic way, where we get to move and breathe and sound and really trust the body, knowing what's good for it, that it can heal itself. Because the body is an animal, you know, like you can say whatever we want about it, but it comes from that intuitive wild animal kingdom, and it knows how to heal itself. And that's what I found in my own yoga practice, when I trust that, and I don't get into how it should look like, but more trust and let it become more intuitive and wild and free. There's a life essence and a joy that starts bubbling up by itself. And it's an expansion.
It's an expansion. Yeah, I like to talk about relaxing and expanding, but because we can't expand as long as there's tension and tightness in the body. And I know that when I practiced with you in Bali, it was just like, it's like I've got permission to be fluid and in my body, to just relax. And then once I relax, as you say, it bubbles up. This energy bubbles up, this joy, this freedom, this spontaneous movement bubbles up. Shakti itself, this intelligent energy, life force, can move, and then I can watch and go, how does that life force want to move me in this moment, and follow that in my own way. Even though we may be practicing together, there's like everyone's movement is going to be slightly different and unique.
Exactly,
So how does this relate to womb wisdom? So what's in terms of Shakti and then womb wisdom, and how are these coming together in your practice?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the womb is like it's the intuitive center in my body. You know, it's where I feel connected connected with myself and source on a really how do you say, it's non-linear, and it's not always like easy to maybe know what she's telling me, but if I listen and drop my mind, I feel and sense where it's right for me to go. And to me, it's all one really. Shakti and my womb wisdom is the same, because Shakti to me lives in the base of my body. She lives in my pelvis, in my in my womb. And so connecting to my womb space is connecting to Shakti. And Shakti is, the feminine life force in life. Both men and women have it. So it's not only women that have Shakti, but for women, really listening to our wombs is a big portal to that Shakti force, that creativity, and where we actually also birth ourselves again and again. Because even if we don't give birth to children, we still have this birthing quality where we birth ourselves, our lives, our relationships, and they get informed from this place of deep wisdom. And it's both really wild and dark and deep, but it's also very subtle and light. It's like everything comes together there for me. It's no separation. It's like you can be fully in rage and feel Shakti, or you can be totally like serene and so like sweet, and that's how Shakti moves then. And I love to move in between these and feel that whatever comes through is her. That's her, and not put any lids on it or conform her in any way. And I think for us women, that's like we've been so much conformed in like, okay, I gotta walk straight, I gotta have a goal, I'm gonna perform and perfect, and always like being in our masculine really wears on us. So giving that permission to be, to be in a little bit of the messy, chaotic place and find our true intelligence being born from that place where we don't have to think about it. We can trust ourselves and in the base of our being. So that to me is Shakti and womb wisdom.
And womb wisdom. And I like to think of the womb itself, and there's a containment within the womb. So when we can hold space for ourselves to let that energy flow, then we can feel safe to be in expression of our emotions. And so, because I know there is a sort of innate sense that if I open this, it's going to be too much and I'll be out of control, and there's a lot of judgment about our emotions and our cycles and these different energies, and so we've learned to contain it or make it wrong or judge it ourselves or whatever, and only show up when we've got it together. But I think one of the most important parts of this practice in the feminine essence for us as women is to be able to hold space for ourselves and each other. And in that safe space, that safe container, we can then explore the fullness of these ranges. And the more we do that in that safe container, we can do that for ourselves at any time. And I think this is really the power, and it's something that we can do to some extent on our own, but it's so much more powerful in a group. When we come together in sisterhood, in circle, Shakti is so powerful. And when we create that safe container, we can do some really amazing clearing and expansion into these ranges, which is what we're going to do on the 26th of March here in Geneva.
Yeah. That is so true. Like you say, like the sisterhood is like a container for us that gives us permission and safety to go to deeper levels with ourselves where we haven't been able to go by ourselves. So it's, we need each other on this path, really.
We do.
And
it's something about this. I mean, for me, it's really clear that it's not about making women more important or more powerful than men. But when we come together, there's certain things that women can hold for each other and can understand for each other. And this has really been massive for me. I know that for whatever reason, sisterhood and just being with women's circles, I avoided it for so long. After being in a girls' convent school, I was like, I spent my time with men. I did all masculine things for a long time. I didn't even want to hold a handbag. I made it really weak. And here I am now, calling together the sisterhood, because I actually realize it's so far from being weak. The power is here, and no one holds me better in this kind of, I don't like the word work, in this practice, in this embodiment, than women, and reflect back to me my beauty, my essence, my wisdom, how easy it is to love from this space, because this Shakti essence is fierce love, I call it. It's fiery, full embodied love.
That's really beautifully put.
Well, it's getting me excited. I can feel it. It's like whoosh, this energy is coming through.
Coming through here. That's so good.
Totally.
About it.
Yeah. Well, it's, just this womb wisdom flowing here.
Here we see how it works, like energy to it, and then we start sharing about it, and then it starts moving. That's all we really need. Is attention to this energy and give it space in our lives. So she can start like feeling excited, like, wow, you're recognizing me. Wow, I can start moving, and we feel uplifted by that energy.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think our day is really about that, to uplift one another in that, and to give permission to share and feel and explore this part of ourselves that is kind of hidden and a bit mysterious and not so well known. And it's such a huge, potential in women to transform and to blossom into the beautiful beings we are, and really live fully. We're here now, like fully through our bodies. Like, let's not wait till later, because we're here right now. It's such a precious life, and we don't know how long we're here for, but now we can be and live in the body, which is the best and most beautiful place to be in the whole universe.
Yes.
That's where we are, So, I feel really excited about our workshop and spending this day together with amazing women.
Yeah, and Christina Speth is going to join us, and she's got this amazing ability to channel that energy up and through her voice. And the vibration of her voice, I've found that everyone in the presence just drops into, it's like the mother, the great mother herself, just speaking through this voice, and we just all reconnect to the vibration. So that's going to be very good as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about it, about that day, or things that people could prepare for coming, or anything like that?
Just that everything is welcome. I know that it can be a bit scary taking the step, and like, do I have to be a certain way or perform, or just look like a way, like being sexy has to be like putting on, some sexy attitude. But it's really, like always, it's like this container of like, everything is welcome here. Come as you are. If you feel like you're shaking, like you're so scared, come anyway. Come and show us that and be in that, because that's so welcome. Do you feel like, like you're interested, but you're still having a lot of questions? Come with those questions. And do you feel like you have sadness, grief, whatever, like, or you come and you feel like, oh my God, I'm always too much, and can I really be, the
held?
Come with that, because it's really, to me,
beautiful.
About really inviting what is, you know. It's not about pushing or performing or putting on a mask or being a good girl or doing something right. It's about really being intimate with oneself and staying
Yes.
true and honor that. Like, this is my edge, or this is where I'm feeling, this is my fear right now. Okay, that's beautiful. Let's be there. Let's stay with that.
Yeah.
We're not going to do anything or push anything. And that to me, I've experienced that path, you know. So to me, having been on that side of like a masculine path that pushes through every boundaries, like I had to really, become so sensitive to that, and that's where I'm based from too, because it's so needed on a feminine path, is to be really acknowledged for, that's beautiful, you know, whatever you're experiencing, that's where you should be.
That's
enough.
Yeah.
That's enough. So that's my,
yeah, feels good.
Put in there. And then if you want to start exploring yourself in, like, you know, in ways before the weekend, is to really use the breath and sounds. I found that sounds are so healing. So I often teach this kind of breath that is a releasing breath, where you breathe in and you're just like, sigh. If you sigh like that, you're starting to kind of let the body know that it's safe, and the nervous system relaxes. And so just giving permission and spending some time every day just doing these flowing sounds and sighs of just just doing it now.
Just totally relaxing. I can feel it right down to the yoni, to the pelvic floor. It's like,
like descending, you know, taking the elevator from the mind down, and just sigh yourself into that connection. So that's a little suggestion to explore before the weekend. And lots of amazing
wonderful.
things are going to happen. So,
Mira Dakini, sister, thank you so much. This has been a blessing. I can't wait to give you a hug in real life next week. And until then, blessings and Shakti vibrations all the way through.
Love you.
Bye, love you too.